Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I dabbled in stand-up or something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. I am your host, Chrissie Mayr. I got a bunch of stand-up shows coming up. If you live in Staten Island, aka Pete Davidson land, I will be coming to you Friday, April 7th to headline the Reef in Staten Island at Paradise Island. Keanu Thompson will be opening for me. Then I'll be in Morris Plains the following day, Saturday, April 8th at Tiff's Ale House. I love this venue. The Cosmos are very strong, so you got to be careful. You got to remember to drink that water, but very fun venue. If you're a Jersey person, I better see you on April 8th. Then we got Vegas. The FNT Friday Night Tights meetup is Wednesday, April 26th at the Millennium Fandom. Then yo ass better be coming to the Space, my comedy show, on the following day, Thursday, April 27th. Tickets are flying for this show. Lila Hart will be opening for me. I'm in the process of figuring out who else is going to be on this show, but it's going to be a hot one. Then I'm heading to Dallas with Lila. We're going to be at Hyenas May 5th and 6th. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Get your tickets now. I will be making a few appearances at the Blaze in the days leading up during that week. Then I got Richmond, Virginia, Wednesday, August 9th at the Sandman Comedy Club. Then we got Anime Matsuri in August, the 10th through the 13th. Simcast will be at the convention. And then I'll be doing stand-up that same Friday, August 11th at the Secret Group. Get your tickets now. It's still early enough that you can have other drinking plans afterwards. You know, it's like the night doesn't have to end at 8:30. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Love me some stand-up comedy. So Carrie Smith is not here yet. I don't know if we had a scheduling snafu, but I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry, gay and late with no one. I literally booked this with her last night, so I hope she's okay. I'm going to maybe I'll do my best Carrie Smith impression. What's up, all my knitters? Maybe she was up late night knitting. But we're gonna go for a little bit, and if she doesn't come, well then we'll just have to do it again. I know you guys are all wondering this. Is your IQ high enough to solve this brain teaser? Bro, I almost don't even want to do this. I don't want to out anything. Only those with an alert mind can solve this mind-bending optical illusion within 13 seconds. Ugh, it's a brain teaser, guys. It consists of 9 rows of the letter X and 6 hidden Ys. Can you spot the Ys in just over 10 seconds? All right, do I have to time myself? Is that how we should do this? Okay, maybe I'll start it and you guys can tell me when 10 seconds is up. Okay. There are 6 Ys mixed in with the X's. And according to the website, you will need some creative thinking to find the solution. Oh, man. Why am I testing my IQ in front of you people? All right. Okay. Let's just do the stopwatch. I'll do the stopwatch and we'll see if I can find the thing. This is hard to do all of a sudden. Okay. Ready? I'm looking for Ys. 6 Ys. Okay. Ready? Here it is. Go. Fuck. Go. Whys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did it in like 11 seconds. That wasn't that hard, y'all. Wow, I'm way smarter than I thought. I thought it was going to take me a really long time. I did it. I think I did it in 11 seconds. 11.22. What is the big deal? You need to think a little differently for coming onto the solution because the answer won't be in front of you. Not really. You just have to look around. If your mind is alert, you should be able to see the whys in just over 10 seconds, which that's me. I'm alert, guys. Wow. I actually feel really good about myself right now. You will need to look quickly through the columns and rows if you want to find this. First of all, did any of you guys get it? Okay. Phantasm thinks it was easy. Only liberals would fail at that. Okay. Get ready to start your timer. Are you able to find the Y's in 13 seconds? Yeah, biatch. I did it in 11.22. Each Y is located in a separate row. Okay, they're clearly giving it away right now. If you weren't able to spot the hidden letters, don't worry. The website notes that it's tricky. It's really not that tricky. Just like observe. I always look around the perimeter first. Like, you know, when they have those word search things and they're like, okay, the first 2 or 3 words that you find like define you, I always end up looking to the far corners first. How underwhelming. I was ready to feel very stupid today. And you know what? I feel great. Wow. Okay. Should we do more brain teasers? Maybe I should just stop while I'm ahead. There's a hidden creature in 11 seconds. Oh, God. All right. Hope nobody's prone to seizures. What the hell? Oh, my God. This is crazy to look at. Can you see the animal hidden between the black and white horizontal lines? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm having a crazy ass headache. Can anybody see this? I don't even know what I'm looking for. Can you guys see anything? Is this like a magic eye where you have to sort of cross your eyes? I feel like my brain is melting. Anybody else? I can't see it. Oh my God. That actually hurts to look at. And now I feel like, whoo. All right, I gotta take a break. Can anybody look at that? You see it? It's a demon, a snake. That hurts my head to look at. It might be a sailboat. Who's able to look at this and not lose their minds? I'd rather look at Black China claiming she lost 10 pounds after having her silicone injections removed. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's too crazy for me. You might have more success if you stand back further from the screen. Was it a frog? No, I can't see it. Oh, that's crazy. I can't look at that. No. No, that's bad. Wow. A lot of clickbait in here to navigate. Hold on. Professional organizer, $20 hack. Professional organizer reveals $20 decluttering hack that will help people get rid of unused junk. Huh. Okay. No Carrie Smith yet. Maybe we got our wires crossed. Okay, Emily, founder of Spaces by Emily, helps her organization. Again, TikTok. Okay, this is supposed to be a viral $20 decluttering tip. Let's see. What is her tip? Okay, this is whether or not you should part with an unused item that is strewn around your home. If you're trying to figure out whether or not to get rid of something, use this rule. What's the rule? If it costs less than $20 to rebuy and you currently don't use it and haven't in a while, get rid of it. Interesting. The $20 decluttering. Okay, so if you have something like a coffee mug and you're like, I don't know. This costs less than $20. If you really want to rebuy it, you can, but just ditch it. Does that seem like a good rule to you guys? I want to see her TikTok. Where is her TikTok? Where is it? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If it costs less than $20 and you're not currently using it, scram. She explained in the caption that the rule works like a charm. Detach yourself from things that won't be life-changing if you do end up having to rebuy them, which you probably won't. The video has been viewed more than 2.2 million times and has inspired viewers to decide how they should let something go. If you were to lose it, would you rebuy it? If not, get rid of it. Mine is if the house burned down, would I replace it? Wow. Every single time I declutter and throw something away, I need it in a week. That's what somebody else said. Some people were outraged by the tip, saying it's a sign of her privilege. Shock. I bet if she were Black, people wouldn't be saying that. My thing is if you haven't used or seen it for 3 months, you don't need it, so toss it or give it away. My goodness, that's a privileged stance. Wow. It's just the idea that you could rebuy it, not that you should throw away things that you are rebuying immediately. No, I'm not California rich yet. $20 is a lot, one person wrote, while another added, but $20 is a lot these days. Some viewers came to Emily's defense by clarifying what she meant, with one person explaining that you'll never end up rebuying an item in question because you never actually needed it. Emily filmed a follow-up because there was backlash. Oh boy. I was not trying to say that you should get rid of everything in your house that's less than $20. That makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, they want to purposely understand her because she's white. People love being mad at white people. All I was trying to say is that if you're already on your decluttering journey, then start with the things that cost less. I need to declutter. You guys should see this desk. The things that are on this desk right now, I have three separate mugs one's filled with Sharpies, one's filled with pens, and one's filled with dry erase markers for the dry erase board that's on the other side of the desk. I have a notebook here. I have some like wedding stuff. I have some like a bunch of tax papers. I have 2 remote controls for these lights behind me. I have obviously the microphone, my little Focusrite box. I have a stand here. It's like kind of like a music stand. God, this is hella. I'm like, I need to definitely declutter because like I have a music stand here, which it's not really for music. It's just for holding stuff. But I usually have it when I have like an ad read or something. But I haven't had an ad read in a while, yet it still lives on my desk. So it's just now something that I stick other papers and junk in. All right. Maybe I'll do a decluttering stream. But you know who I won't be decluttering from my life is our next guest. Oh my God, it's Carrie Smith. Woo! Oh no.
I'm muted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My profuse apologies. I was in my head, I was thinking 2:00 my time. So I started
shit.
another house project. I was like, I see you're talking about decluttering. I was just straightening up our shop room with all of our tools and paints. And then I thought I had a good another 30 minutes. And then I checked in and was like, oh no.
Oh no. I should always communicate in Texas time. How selfish of me.
I'm very Texas focused, so yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Oh my
I'm so sorry.
God. I was like, I'm being stood up. No, I figured that's what it was because you're always like very much on point. So
thank you. Well, I'm trying to be because that doesn't come naturally. Does decluttering come naturally to you?
Hell no. Hell no. You know what comes naturally to me? Hoarding everything in sight because I have like I think I would be great as part of the silent generation because I'm constantly like, oh, we might need half of a
Yes.
bar of soap or like half a literal free container of shampoo from a hotel.
That's exactly that generation. Were you close to your grandparents? Because I picked up some of that stuff from my grandparents, I think.
I was kind of close to like my grandma. Yeah, we hung out more.
Yeah.
I don't know, I wish she was alive now because I would love to have like God/religion conversations with her because she
Yeah.
always had like 100 Bibles around. She was constantly trying to slip a New Testament into my pocket or into my purse. And I was like, just so not into it. I just was like, oh, that's old people stuff. But now I actually want to pick her brain and like,
Now you have questions. Yeah.
yeah.
My grandmas, both of them, well, they grew up during that generation, of course, so they would always save everything, you know? My grandma kept, she had her own garden. They had some cows and chickens and stuff, and they grew a bunch of their own food. She canned, so she knew she would do. I never learned any of that stuff. Like, I
So
wish I learned it.
your grandma
She
had nice cans.
she had nice can. Her cans lasted a long time. They could last through a nuclear
Wow.
apocalypse probably. She had cans of green beans and what they called it, chow chow. Do you
Mhm.
guys have that? And or maybe it's a South Carolina thing.
It's a breed of dog, I think.
It's like a pickled relish. It's like a
Oh,
hillbilly thing probably. And pickled
chow
beets.
chow. Do any of you guys in the chat eat
And
chow chow?
where's chow chow? Is it just South Carolina maybe? But they saved everything. They made, you know, when she was a kid growing up, my great grandma made a lot of their clothes out of flour sacks and corn sacks
What?
and stuff. Yeah. That's where that sackcloth word comes from. Because when you were really poor during the Depression, people would save the cloth bags that all the flour came in and then make clothes out of it. So you come from
Whoa.
that, you probably are like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to everything.
Yeah, I think there was more hoarding, but there was definitely less buying of things. You just would
Yes.
own the same shit for a lifetime. I remember my grandma's catchphrase always was, "Do you need it or do you want it?" And I was like, most of the time, the answer to that is that you want it.
Want it. Yeah, they were thrifty.
Yeah.
One of my grandmas, though, she would also do things that really embarrassed me as a kid, like, if we went out to eat, like, on Sundays after church, sometimes we would get to go to a restaurant, and she would take if you didn't like tomato and you took it off of your burger and put it to the side, she would wrap your little slice of tomato with mayonnaise and stuff on it. She would wrap it up in a napkin and take it home, like,
Whoa.
I might eat this little mushy slice of tomato. I was like, "Grandma, it's so embarrassing, like, just leave the tomato here." But
Oh my
I think it's
god.
from that time
Wow.
period. Anyway.
I'm trying to think like what are top tips. Okay, we have grandma brilliant money saving tips from a grandma. See, I didn't yeah, I wish my grandma was still alive. She died in 2014, I think, or 2015. I think it was January of 2015 she died. And let's see. Okay. Get ready for some tips. Never waste a dime. Whoops. Well, too late for that. Okay, don't throw your money
Didn't they
away.
call ladies dimes?
Yeah. Cook at home more than you go out. Oh, okay. But now it's like in some case, and of course, in some instances, like it's cheaper to go out, but I feel like it's very expensive to cook at home now. Serve salad with bread with dinner so people eat less meat. Oh, wow.
Oh, here's another thing. If you make salmon patties, which that may have been a South Carolina thing, my grandma would take the canned salmon, and then so that you use less meat, she would put a lot of saltine crackers in it and really thin it out, you know,
Wow.
and then you fry that up in an iron skillet salmon patty. Or she would thin out, you thin out the eggs. If you're making scrambled eggs, you add a lot of milk to it, make it last, make
Wow.
more
Yeah,
eggs,
yeah,
things like that.
milk and the eggs thing, I always hated because I felt like it was sneaky. I thought it was like a sneaky
Yeah,
thing my mom did. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like,
it's sneaky.
yeah. But now I don't mind it because it does make them a little bit softer. Adding breadcrumbs to ground meat. Well, I just
Yep.
think that makes for a better recipe, doesn't it?
I like it, yeah, but it does to spread it out, makes
Yeah.
it go further.
Save everything. See, this is what they told us. plastic containers, plastic utensils. I think hoarding plastic utensils is good because when I'm running out the house, like to go to the city and I don't eat in the morning, I just like throw a yogurt in my bag with a plastic spoon. If I can't find a plastic spoon, then it's like, I don't want to take a real spoon. But she really did save too much stuff. Save scraps. Uh-oh.
Oh, so yeah.
This
My
is
grandma did
extreme.
this. She would take a plastic milk jug, a gallon milk jug, cut off the top and leave it next to the sink. And then she would put all the scraps in it. So if you're peeling a tomato or if you're peeling an apple, this peel goes in there. Anything left over on your plate at the end of a meal goes in there. And then when that nasty thing full of scraps would get full, she'd take it outside and feed the chickens with it.
Oh my God.
Or you could make compost out of it.
Oh, wow. One of my roommates that I lived with, Susan, in Astoria, Queens, she had you couldn't throw out any food garbage like in the trash. You had to have there was a separate bag for what she called trash, which was food stuff and like anything you used in cooking. And she would become irate if that were to be thrown out with the regular other garbage, like paper garbage or whatever. I had to separate everything. And I was like, Susan, we live in New York City. No one's actually recycling. It's all a fucking scam.
Do you think I heard that recently that because my husband's big into recycling, but we recently heard that a lot of the city, the county places where the recycling ends up, they don't actually sort it.
No, it's really upsetting because I worked at my last job, the corporate media job, and they were not recycling. And I was like, oh my God, I was so upset. And then finally they did put the recycling bins in for paper because everyone wastes so much paper. I think I was talking to one of the janitors and he was like, yeah, they don't. It all goes to the same place.
It just goes to the same place. It just makes you think you're doing something.
Yeah, Manhattan doesn't recycle. See? And Awind knows the deal. Okay. Heating up the oven or grill, fill it up. All right. Have a repertoire. Oh, like stick to the same recipes. That's nice. It's better because, right, a lot of times I'm like, well, what the fuck do you make? Use every bit of the ingredient. Olive oil's for drizzling, not for cooking. Oh, yeah. Who's cooking with olive oil? I feel like extra virgin olive oil is so expensive.
I cook with this olive oil and butter.
Yeah, butter for sure. Stocking up. Take expiration grains with a grain of salt. This I learned from grandma and grandpa and mom too. Like we are completely disregarding expiration dates.
It's just a suggested date.
Yeah. I'm constantly eating expired stuff. Expired vitamins. Like that's just a scam by Big Vitamin. Adding water to the liquid soaps. Yeah, when you're running out at the end. Dang. Wow. Using bar soap. That is true. I mean, it's nice to get the Bath and Body Works, like the push ones that like it makes it foamy and nice, but the bar soap really does last forever. Vinegar with a hard R. Using vinegar to clean. Clean with newspaper rather than paper towels. That I want to try that on the bathroom. Because I have a soap scum situation. Yeah, this is what we used to do. We used to take old t-shirts and use them as rags. Don't run out and buy something new. This was my grandma's number one thing. Ignoring trends. You know what happens when you go into a store like a TJ Maxx or like a Marshall's or something?
Yeah.
Everything is so cheap and you feel like, well, I have to buy something. So you end up just buying the thing you like most of all the things you've seen. But really, you can sometimes I used to be way worse about this, but sometimes I'll be in a store. I'll be like, could I just drop everything I'm holding right now and walk out of here? Like, could I do that? And then it's really cool to do that. Like, practice doing that, you feel actually really powerful. It's a really cool exercise.
I have done that before. And sometimes you lose though. And you're like, oh, I can't.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you're like, oh, but I need this.
Yeah, those are stores or traps. I try to avoid them because that always happens to me. My mother-in-law loves TJ Maxx. Like
it's such a good if you really need something random, it's good for that. Like it's great for like random Christmas presents. You can always get like, a cheap thing of slippers or a nice like button down for somebody or
A
they have a lot of
blanket.
random shit. Yeah. Hoarding. Yeah.
Oh, this is the new word. Oh, hey, Tina. Yarn and Fiber. I can never say your first name. She's here. She says, I'm not a hoarder. I'm a maximalist. Have you heard that word?
No,
Maximalist?
I've heard Maxinista.
Maximalist. Somebody added me to a group called that on Facebook. And from what I can tell from the pictures people are sharing, it's people that just like too much stuff in the background, like right here.
That is what
not,
that looks like. Yeah.
not a minimalist at all.
Yeah. I get worried about having room for everything. Like this I already have the hoarding situation. Like that's not even that bad. I got a lot of little I noticed even my little action figures are starting to pile up. It's all right. I'll have to go through it. You got to go through it a couple times a year because we're constantly bringing things in, but you never think about consciously bringing things out. So anyway, it was just some things to familiarize ourselves with as we sashay into this next Great Depression.
Yeah. Oh, that's why we were going over that? Yeah, we should. How to sew.
Oh, yeah. I know how to sew.
Good.
I've always wanted a sewing machine. I always would do it by hand. But I think a sewing machine would definitely make it go faster. Dan Halen, hail hot queen Carrie Smith. That's you.
Hey, Dan, look at that hat.
What was the house project that you were doing?
We're almost done with our master bedroom, and we just have a couple finishing touches. We spent about 8 weeks on it. We did everything from the floors. We stripped them, sanded them, stained them, varnished them. Then we did sheetrocked 3 of the walls, left 1 wall bare, mudded, textured, sanded again, painted, did the trim. Anyway, it's a long thing now, and the ceilings. And now we're on today I bought this beautiful makeup table, this oriental gold antique, but it's had a lot of water damage, so I've been revarnishing it, like putting lacquer on it.
You're supposed to say Asian American.
Not for furniture. Or carpets.
Mm-hmm. You're like, my makeup table would definitely get its ass kicked on the New York City subway. Let me tell you, it would be thrown right onto the tracks.
My makeup table is Asian American. What? No.
Right, because if it's from the Orient,
it's Oriental.
Yeah. Young Pei Ching. Hey, Keri. Hey, Chrissy. If you didn't know already, Elijah's wife, Kez, entered labor sometime last night. They went the midwife route. Prayers, please. I saw Elijah's post. Yeah, I told him send me Kez's baby registry. I'll have to text them both again. I hope they're doing okay. That's very exciting. It feels like a long time coming. I feel like she's been pregnant for a year. That's cool. Thanks, Young Pei Chang. Meta step to make eggs fluffier, add water instead. See, I'd rather in that instance I would rather do milk because water is that's like a struggle meal. I mean, that's what this is about, right? Struggle meals. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do like a 2023 like depression tips.
Yes.
John Wayne drinks SJW tears. Thanks for keeping my mind off my troubles for a while, ladies. You gals rock. You rock. Oh, yeah, I was going through all the clutter I have on this desk. I have a real problem with not finishing drinks. Like, I'll leave half drunk bottles of seltzer fucking everywhere I go. And I have, oh my God, this is bad. On my desk currently, this is so bad. This is a couple of sips and I abandoned it.
Yeah.
And then this is horrible.
Do you ever force yourself to drink the old ones so you don't waste them?
That's today's activity.
I don't deserve a fresh, sparkling, fizzy one. I'm going to drink these old ones first.
That's how I feel. I have to punish myself by drinking stale seltzer, bubble-free, also known as regular water. I got so many papers. I got a stream deck literally sitting here that I have never hooked up. It's just been sitting here.
What is
And
Stream Deck?
it's something that allows you to push buttons and like move what windows are on your screen. And maybe it's a laziness thing. Maybe I'm just not taking enough time to learn. Oh my God, Keri, this was something I had been talking about. Like as a kid, I made my family eat 100 tacos one summer so I could get the Rocky and Bullwinkle shirt from Taco Bell. And a fan brought this to me on last Thursday at my show in Bridgeport. He literally bought this off eBay. This shirt is old as fuck. This shirt must be from 1997. It smells like somebody just took it off their body. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe he got this. So shout out to Mike in Connecticut.
What a fun gift.
It's crazy.
Now, see, if you had a sewing machine, you could make some alterations to that,
quilt.
make it super cute, or a quilt.
Oh, okay.
Or you could take it in and make it all do like a little net.
Make it slutty. That's what I want to do. Make a slutty moose shirt. That's a really good idea. Oh my God, what's new? What's new, Keri? What's new in your life? Knitting?
Well, knitting. No. Well, I once in a while the ladies at Politically Incorrect Knitters let me hang out with them, and they let me do remedial knitting with them, which is fun. But no, mostly it's just the house stuff, man. It's like I'm happy though, because every time we finish a room, it feels like we've accomplished so much. And now we can start on the guest rooms now that we're out of there. And but just, man, it's a lot of stuff. And what else? Oh, tonight. So tonight is my year celebration of Deprogrammed, my channel.
Ooh. What
And there's gonna
time?
be, it's like 6 o'clock Texas time to 10 o'clock. We're gonna go
Oh, right.
the
Okay.
longest stream ever done. I know you may not be able to make it, but
I'm looking at
you
a
got it.
house, another house, but maybe later.
If you make it, feel free to drop in anytime. We're gonna have a ton of people dropping by, and we're just gonna play games, listen to music, I just want to feel like a fun party with people meeting. I like when people meet each other they haven't met before, and
That's great.
different kinds. There's going to be knitters there.
Uh-oh.
The deplorable knitters coming.
East side or west side?
There's going to be, gamers, journalists, like cultural commentators, just like different kinds of people, musician. So everyone's welcome.
That's so great. Wow, happy 1 year.
Thank you.
It feels like it's gone by so fast. I just remember when you were starting to do it on your own, and you felt like it was very daunting. And I just was like, Keri, oh my God, no! Like you were the whole brand to begin with. You were the whole thing. People will only come into the channel for you anyway. So
you helped me so much because, that's well, I think what I kind of went through was like a backstabbing in a way where you're also questioning, do I have bad people judgment? Like, what's wrong with me? So I had a lot of insecurities, and you were great, and you were like, do this, and name it this, do this. Like, you had a lot of great advice, and you and Frank are just, you've helped me out so much, helped me feel like, oh yeah, I got
and
this.
Get all your handles the same, get all your social media the same. Yeah,
because I had that old handle. KS
no, nobody cares about that.
People
want your name. Yeah. Oh
I
my
picked that
God.
handle
Yeah,
back
it's also
before I
like
knew I needed one.
It was like a breakup too. It was like I've had so many friend breakups, and they never get easier. You bounce back quicker. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, I really am who I am. So if you like me now, like, you're probably in it for the duration. But when I was becoming like red pilled and sort of like politically activated, and went from brainwashed liberal to like actual sort of libertarian, or whatever the fuck this is, whatever this current form is. And then I realized people were, not talking to me anymore because I couldn't give them what they wanted, which a lot of my friendships in comedy were based off of, basically people thinking that I could help them one day or give them something or book them on something. So
that's the Aristotle talks about 3 different kinds of friendships, and one of them is transactional friendships. And I think, unfortunately, the majority of times in this society, people sometimes, at least in my old business entertainment, that's what a lot of the friendships were. They're, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? Kind of thing. But the highest form of friendship is, I forget what he calls it, but it's a friendship where you love someone for who they are, even if you disagree with them on fundamental things, but you just love them as a human. And those are much more rare, of course.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah,
Carrie Smith.
the transactional. I'll still get that sometimes. It's easier for me to spot now where it's like, oh, okay, you just want something from me, and you're probably wrong that I can do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Metastep thinks all friendships are transactional. In a sense, I understand that, but it's all about appreciation, and you got to make sure things are not more tipped in the favor of someone else. You know what I mean? Like if someone's giving you more material things or more opportunities, I don't know, I don't know, in terms of all your friendships, it's good to keep track of reciprocating.
It depends on how you define that word, how broad you are with it, because you could even say then, well, all marriages are transactional. It's like you're getting love and security and you're giving love and security. Yes, true. But the point being that all are not so I guess shallow, where it really is just, what can I get, what can I give. I feel like we don't have as many words. Well, we don't have as many words as the Greeks had. I mean, we have like one word for love, for example. They had so many different words for love to describe friend love and, love of
Oh
a stranger,
yeah.
of marital love, and all these different things. And so sometimes when I talk about stuff like this, I find it hard because I'm like, I don't know, maybe we don't have enough words for me to explain what I mean. But
One night stand love. Yeah.
I wouldn't put that in there. Maybe.
Lust. Then there's also like just people you like that you've just like have kind of just been around for years. Like there's people I don't really know very well, but like I feel like I've just been in my loose orbit for years, and I'm like, oh, I'd be happy if I ran into that person.
Yeah. Comfortable
So,
with. It's
yeah.
weird. People are weird. It's like, some people you can know a very short time and feel like you've known them forever. And then other people, sometimes family members or just people you've known since child, you're like, I don't think I even know who you are.
Yeah, I had Isabella Riley on last night. Do you know she met a guy and in 2 months got married? She's married.
What? No.
Yes. She just married Elijah's old producer from Slightly Offensive.
Oh,
This
wow.
guy fucking, oh my god, he was just on Jeremiah or fuck, his last name is Moody. Somebody in the chat will know. I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my
2
god."
months.
I was like, "Have you rushed into relationships before?" And of course he's like, he's kind of right there. So
Well,
Josiah, thank you, Josiah. Yeah.
if you
Josiah.
know, I guess. It's like,
Right. And then I feel like, damn, now that I am a person who's getting married, I wish we got married a lot sooner because I knew right away we did go through a lot of shit together and separately. So maybe now that we've waited, it's more solid. But
how long
there's
have you
something
guys been
excited
together?
about. Oh my god. Okay, we started dating in like November of 2014.
Okay. Oh, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, then.
I think
Yeah,
this year would be
know.
9. Like knowing that you love somebody is different than knowing that you want to marry them. I think like knowing that you like being with somebody, I think it took me a while to like wade through the fear, like the fear of being with the same person forever. And there's also I think that's why people are hesitant to get married now generally, is like, oof, like you want to keep making the same good first impression, and then the longer you're with somebody, the longer they can show you who you are, the longer they can hold up a mirror and be like, these are your bad habits, that I'm noticing a pattern here. It's someone who can call you out on your bullshit. It's also somebody who can keep track of like if you're not accomplishing something you've set out to do, or if the years are going by and you have the same goals and you're making no forward progress, it's like, fuck. But if you're
They can
single,
tell.
nobody can call you out on it. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, nobody knows my goals. Nobody knows that I've been dragging my feet on this or that thing.
Yeah.
So
It's actually, I think, the bravest thing you can do to be to say, no, I am going to make this vow and this commitment and mean it and have it mean something. Like culturally, marriage has become this sort of, oh, it's just a big, fancy, expensive party and we like each other and we're going to stay in this until we're like, until one of us isn't happy. But that's not what it originally was. And it's like to make that commitment is to say that no matter what, in good times and bad, I'm with you. Have you heard Jordan Peterson talk about marriage? He's like, it's what you just said. He's like, you hold up your mirror to that other person, and marriage is an agreement that you're going to, in this space between the two of you, you're going to be safe enough to get naked, to show all of your weaknesses, your broken parts, like all the worst parts of yourself, and you're promising each other not to run
Which for some of us
screaming.
is being naked. Yeah. Like for me, that was 2 in the same one. Check and check. I've seen a viral clip of Peterson being like, you gotta have sex once a week, whether you like it or not. And I was like, those weren't his exact words, but that was the gist of it. I was like, yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not stressed enough. It's this old trope, and we see it so much in shows or sitcoms, right? It's the old stereotype of like they both find it like, well, the woman finds the guy disgusting, the woman looks hot, but it's like it's always everyone's like bagging on the guy. And this idea that's become like very trendy. It's like, oh yeah, like it's like, why do you think people cheat and leave? Like sex is such a huge, or at least if it's not sex, it's like affection or some kind of meaningful physical contact or you have to keep that physical
You're
connection alive.
bonding. Yeah, because
Yeah.
your body's releasing oxytocin, which is a bonding chemical. Women release oxytocin when they breastfeed also. It's what you bond with your baby, and your body releases that during sex. Well, from the Christian point of view, it says when you're married, you're one flesh union. And if you're neglecting that, like that part of the connection, you can't have a deathbed marriage, like
Yeah.
what they call it,
And
dead bed.
like there are gonna be times where like you're both not fully turned on and ready to go at optimal, the oven is not optimally preheated, but sometimes you have to go in with a cold oven. Like sometimes you don't, the oven's not gonna get hot. You just gotta go for it and hope that the oven will eventually get there. And if not, like it's not the end of the world. Like try again next time. But it's just kind of like that sort of constant opting out is a collective rejection on that person. And I don't think men really talk about that enough.
Mm-mm. You mean it happening to them or them doing that to women?
Yeah.
Both?
I think it's probably more often the woman rejecting the guy. But it can go both ways for sure.
I have known it to
Spit
go
on the
both
oven.
ways. Spit on the
Spit on the oven. Yeah.
This
This is not
somebody
helping the
says
argument
this
for
is
marriage.
not
It's
helping.
funny.
Well, no, what's great about it is that if you are that brave to say, yes, I'm going to take that plunge and that leap of faith and say, I'm making this meaningful vow to you through good times and bad. You are my person, and we are going to grow together. One of the ways I look at it, again, sorry, it's a Christian view, but I'm kind of like all those things you talked about, that like these are your bad habits or what have you. I think God is sort of like, sometimes it's like, I'm going to bring these two people together to help them work on their broken habits, so that they can break them and stop doing those things. And in the case of my husband and I, some of his old patterns that didn't work, and some of my old patterns that didn't work, they actively provoke each other. And that's kind of actually good, because it's helping both of us learn how to get out of those ways of behaving. Does that make sense? Like you can't do that anymore. You can't be that person who
It does. Yeah.
hides things that you're embarrassed of, or whatever the pattern is. Like, no, you can't do that, because it's going to actively provoke that person. Then it's a stupid cycle. So I don't know. That's what I
Do
think.
you guys in the chat, do you feel Keri cutting in and out a little bit, or maybe it's just me? Okay, I'm gonna remove you, then bring you back. I don't even know if that's gonna make a difference. What about now? Okay, talk, Keri.
Testing. Should I leave and come back?
No, what's going on? Yeah, yes.
I'm
Yeah,
leaving.
like, redo your settings and then come back. I don't think it's me. Were you guys hearing that? A crazy little echo? I guess it's just me. Excuse me. I'm the asshole. I made Keri leave. She'll be back. They always come back. Okay.
Okay, how about now?
Fuck, it's exactly the same. I don't know what the hell was going on. All right. Yeah, here's the thing is, I think speaking very generally, women should be able to put out when they're not feeling it, just in the same way that like guys in a relationship should talk when they're not feeling like it. Because like, you know what I mean? Like that's what you do. You have to kind of, it's not even think of it as a sacrifice. It's like, all right, I'm throwing you a bone this time. Like you're not always going to want the same things at the same time. That's why you have to like compromise. So
I agree. And sometimes it goes both ways. I mean, sometimes the woman has the higher sex drive. It's like, well, same thing. Or sometimes the guy likes to talk more.
yeah,
Is my audio still messed up? It's
that's
okay.
true. You're a little jumpy. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna see if maybe the super chat will help. What did Keri think of the Scott Adams story? What was Adams, you think, once liberal like you, but woken up to real life, woken up to real life, the hate that the other side has?
Well, I don't know what you mean by Scott Adams' story. Did something new happen with him, or do you just mean him in general? Because I think yes. I think he was someone.
I think he means in general. I don't.
Oh, well, he was someone who, yeah, he does the Dilbert cartoon, right? And when I was still in woke, when I was still in like the feminist part of woke, I remember some Jezebel articles and some of the kind of feminist press did hit pieces on him, talking about what a misogynist he was now. And that was my first introduction to him because I was still woke at the time, and I was like, yeah, screw that guy. I didn't even investigate it. I just took what they said at face value. So unfortunately, I haven't read a lot about his whole background, so I don't know if he left the left or not. I know that the left hates him now. He got all of his cartoons canceled.
It sounds that way, although there's probably maybe arguably more people that want to buy his shit now because they're like, yeah, that's how I feel. That's what cancellation is. It's you're basically just really fine. Something happens to you where you now have to find your real fans, and you lose your wide appeal, which I think is a good thing.
Oh yeah. Well, and you find out who your real friends
I'm
are.
pro cancel.
If you're in,
Yeah.
when I kind of walked away from the left, there was a great unfriending that happened. But the ones who stayed with me, even though they were like,
The great unfriending. Oh my God, me too.
yeah. The great unfriending. But then there were some that you least expected who were right there with you, like, I'm going to defend your right to say what you think. I think what you're doing is really important, whether I agree with you or not. People I didn't know, people that were like more of just acquaintances at the time and then became good friends. That happened. So you see the metal of people.
Yeah. All right, people are thinking that I'm cutting it now, so now I'm going to leave and come back. See if that helps. Okay.
Should I hold it down? I'll hold it down. Hey, Robert Lowry, I see you in the chat. Ray says, Keri, where's your oversized novelty hat? It's upstairs somewhere in storage because we're still renovating this house. I do have an oversized novelty hat. People make fun of my hat sometimes. They say, that's a large hat. I'm like, no, you've not seen a large hat. Hey, lady.
Unfriending should be the movement. Calling out the unfrienders. I have some people that I don't talk to all the time, but I remember when the shit was first going down, you get a message like, oh, hey, I see what you're doing. Like, keep it up or something.
Yes.
We don't like chit chat. A couple of those. Yeah.
Your audio was like
from people that were kind of.
Keep going.
What the fuck is going on? What about now? What if I push this button?
It sounds good now.
What about
It sounds good to me now.
now?
It's like when you first came up, it was like
Okay.
really crackling and speeding up. It sounds good now.
Oh,
Yeah, there are the
yours
people.
is crackling, but I'm just
Damn.
like kind of gonna ignore it.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore it too. And you guys tell us if you hear it. There are the people
now
that
my audio's worse. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? What about now? What about now? What about now? What about
sounds
now?
good to me.
Okay. Who's eating Rice Krispies? Did you have and I guess do you still have people who will send you DMs of support but not publicly support?
Yes, I was just about to mention those people. There are those people who are afraid to publicly. One person even told me, I'm too afraid to hit like on any of your posts, to hit the like button, but I like them. And I was like, okay.
Cannot too afraid to like.
But I think there's less of those people, hopefully. I think people are getting over a little bit of their fear. I think what a lot of people who are cultural commentators, whether they're comedians or they're musicians or I don't know, they work in the comic book stuff or gaming, whatever. I think people are feeling there's a broader space now to break away from the narrative and to get over that fear. And hopefully we're all creating these different spaces and communities where people feel like there's strength in numbers and there's a lot of us who are wrong thinkers of all different stripes, So hopefully there's less of those people who are like, I quietly, secretly support.
You're like,
What?
gee, thanks. Thanks
Yeah.
for your quiet support.
Ani DeFranco had a song like that. I used to be really into Ani DeFranco. And she had a song about women.
You look like you would be into Ani DeFranco.
I was so into Ani. She she had women who would come up to her and say, "Thank you for all that you say and do for women. I could never do that, but I support you." And she got annoyed and wrote a song about it and was like, you need to use your voice, basically. Like, it's not enough for me to be. I remember she had some lyrics that were along the lines of, I'm not your superhero, me out here speaking for you. And I think that's funny because that was about kind of feminist, third wave feminist, almost social justice speech. But the same can be true of people who have opinions against that stuff. It's like, get over your fear and get out there and say it in whatever way you can. It doesn't have to be on a podcast. You can just speak up in a conversation with friends, or you don't have to start a fight. You can just let them know. You know what they do in the woke left a lot? Do they do this to you, Chrissy? They do forced teaming where they talk to you as if everyone agrees with them. Do you know what I mean? Well, they'll say something like, negative about Republicans, for example, just assuming everyone in the area agrees. And they do that a lot. I hate that. So I'll
they're very confident about it.
They're confident.
And it's like, ugh.
They'll be like, oh, this one guy told me once, I was working in a cowboy boot shop and he was visiting from San Francisco, and we were talking about his boots and stuff. And then he's like, yeah, I'm thinking of moving here to Austin because, San Francisco's got too many white people, if you know what I mean. And he just said it like I would agree. He was white too. And he just said it like I would agree. And I was like, oh, so you're racist? And then he was like, no. But don't let them do that. Don't let them talk like that. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Sure. Too many white people. Okay.
Yeah, I was God, what a funny sentence that I have to say right now. But I was hanging out with Greg Sestero from The Room. I was watching like a live they were playing the movie at the Alamo Draft House in Yonkers, and I went there with actually Mikey and Frank and my friend Lindsay. It was really fun. And afterwards, like there was a guy, some kind of a streamer or Twitch guy who was coming up talking to Greg, and he's like, ugh. Then now we have to go to Long Island and it's really red out there. And I was like, ugh, yeah, Long Island's really gross and Republican.
Gross.
I like that. I really enjoy listening to these people talk just to like hear what they say. And I don't know. I try to not do sweeping generalizations of an area. Although the other day I did say, it was fun to do Bridgeport, Connecticut. Like, you guys are pretty cool for a blue state. Like, sometimes it is fun.
Sometimes it's funny to flip it on them a little bit. Yeah, to flip it on them because they don't expect it.
Yeah. No, they're not at all expecting to be made fun of because they're always right. They're on the right side. Oh, Myth-Informed. What's up, Myth-Informed? Who else thought the woman descriptor in the mass shooter headline was suspect as soon as you read it? The corporate media is on an apology tour for using that word now, lol. Can't wait for Austin. Oh yeah, you mean the event at the Vulcan?
I'm
the Minds
hosting
event?
April 15th, and there's
That'll
a
be
ton of
fun. Yes.
speakers and comedians and musicians coming. You get your tickets at minds.com. Yeah, Minds Fest, April 15th. I thought it was only the woman as the descriptor. It caught my attention because there are not very many mass shooters who are women. It's women kill, but they don't often kill in that way.
No, and I thought the future was
Right.
female. What's happening? Yeah.
And so that immediately caught my attention. And then when I found out she was trans, I was trying to figure out which way, right? So it turns out she is a biological woman who was using he, him pronouns. And what's interesting is, also catches my eye is 3 of the past 4 transgender mass shooters were biological women who were trying to live as men. And because it's so rare for women, biological women, to be mass shooters, it does make me wonder, is there something going on here in terms with hormone replacement therapy? Or not that everyone who takes testosterone is going to shoot up a school. Of course not. I'm just saying, what is there a correlation here? Why are there so many out of a very, very small fraction of a percent of the population? The transgender population is not that large. Why are there so many who are biological women who are transitioning to be men? It's unusual. So you can't ask questions like this now, though.
Well, female puberty is awkward. No,
Yeah.
you can't ask that question.
But
because,
it is very rare.
Yeah, what we see are like gorgeous, filtered, perfect looking women all over the internet, all over TV. We don't see like the in between, and like most girls that are going through puberty, like we all had an awkward stage. Like that's what middle school literally is for you to have your bad hair, your braces, your back braced, your scoliosis. I was just talking earlier, some kid shit his pants in middle school. He's wearing shorts. Okay. Then we all went to high school the next year and everyone forgot about it except for me. But that's what middle school is for. And now no one can have an awkward stage. As soon as you're old enough, as soon as you're 12, younger, 10, you get a phone in your hand, and then it's a constant barrage of what you're supposed to look like. And a kid growing through puberty, like usually women, because that puberty happens first, and I think like male puberty is kind of just like you just shoot up real tall, and then eventually your voice changes. It's not like you're not like, okay, I have boobs coming out. Like you don't have to like buy different underwear all of a sudden. Yeah. It's female puberty probably is more awkward, but I think it's more kind of like, oh wow, I have to go buy a bra. I have to. You don't see examples of like awkward bodies, and honestly, I think that's what like the trans contagion kind of offers people. Like, hey, like embrace awkwardness, be trans. You don't have to be male or female. You can just be something strange in the middle
and be celebrated for it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's this whole celebration. Yeah. You're held up as this special, protected, sacred class. It's very attractive for a teenager who's feeling awkward,
Yeah.
You feel like an ugly duckling, and now you get to be a sparkly unicorn and have adults, put you up on this pedestal.
Because it probably looks like womanhood probably looks like a lot of work to girls, because you're like, damn, it takes you years to figure out what to do with your hair. Okay, like everyone's different. Like you're like, is it curly? Is it wavy? Then you're like, for years you brush out your curls. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Same.
You gotta figure out products, length, haircut. It takes you years to figure out what kind of makeup looks good on you. And then it's very confusing because people go, oh, I have to look perfect. I have to have either huge tits or huge ass. I have to have no wrinkles, no trace of aging, even if you're 20. So, it's like the marketing we get, like the messages we get, oh, like embrace yourself. But that's not what anybody's doing. Nobody's embracing their natural form. Everyone's filtering. Everyone's like, getting injections. Everybody's, or you're like, oh, I got to completely shave my head, lop off my tits, and kind of be this glamorous in between thing.
Did you ever get in the 90s, before we had filters and all, in the 90s, there were these things at the mall called glamour shots. Did you ever get a glamour shot? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about disposable cameras?
No, you would
I'm
go in
still
a
having
booth.
an audio issue, but I'm
Okay. Glamour shots where you go in the booth. A lot of
glamour
teenagers.
shots. Yes,
Yes.
of course. Glamour
Okay, I
glamour
just
shots.
sent you. I
Yes.
just sent you one.
The blended, the fogginess, the fog. Yeah. Of course,
Here.
glamour shots. Deb from Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay, here's mine. Let's see if you
Oh,
can
are
see
you sending
that.
me links? Oh, here we
Yeah.
go.
Facebook
Oh,
link.
it
doesn't
says
open?
content is not available.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on.
Let me click on the other
Mm.
one.
Oh, the other one. Oh, you know why? Because it's friends only. Let me change it to public. No, the other one's about the girl. It's actually a sad kind of just a
Okay,
different
let me
photos of
show
her.
this. The signs were there. Who saw them? Who ignored? Who tried but gave up? Oh, I mean, like, that looks
She looks
fine.
so happy. That's her on the right. She looks so, like a normal kid. That's her on the right.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, then, like, what's that?
And
Okay,
then
that's bad.
angry.
Depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Yeah, she was a super happy kid, it seems. Someone saying, I'm betting cluster B mom in the portrait with her and the kids, especially the obviously infantilized girl, lean in to perform affection whilst she neither embraces it nor even touches them. Ooh. Oh, is this the mom right here? Weird. It's hard to tell from a few photos, but
Yeah, I don't think you can assume all of that. That is the case with many male mass shooters, that they have these overbearing cluster B kind of personality disorder moms. The guy that shot up the Lubies in Texas in the 80s or 90s, the 90s, he had this really tumultuous relationship with his mother, who was just very controlling and narcissistic. Same thing for Richard Speck. He was the guy in the 60s who did a mass stabbing of all these women. Had a very crazy mom. That's the case, I think, for a lot of men who end up going that route. I don't know about women, but sorry for the dark topic.
yeah, I don't know. It seems like the opposite of steadily working hard on something and like, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like such a pussy move to shoot up a school. It's like you're making it about you. Clearly, you want the glamour, you want the attention. Obviously, killing people is horrible and the worst thing you can do. Like that goes without saying. But I just think it's just such a lame move. It's like, I don't know. It's literally not going to solve your problems. You're going to be kind of famous for a day, but then hated forever. It's ultimately not worth it. And it's like I don't know. It's just so incredibly selfish. It's like, but it's hard to work on yourself and achieve your
Yeah.
goals. And yeah.
Plus, I think they come to despise, Peterson has talked about this, but they come to despise the state of being itself. These people who do mass murder and then take themselves out, like this girl, she knew she was going to die. She apparently messaged a friend right before she did it saying, I'm going to die today. But it's not enough for her to kill herself. She wants to take others with her because she hates God, hates existence, hates the nature of being itself. That's like the ultimate resentment against life, is like, life means so little to me that I'm going to take some people's lives with me just to show you how much I despise life. That's so evil. It's just such a dark place to get to. The Columbine killers, who people reference a lot, that's what their diaries were like. I mean, they were different. The one guy was Eric, was much more of a sociopath. I mean, that was him. He despised living. He despised people. He thought himself so much better than everyone else. He wanted to kill as many people as possible. He thought he was sort of this elevated being. But Dylan, the guy who agreed to go along with him, Dylan was suicidal and depressed. And for him, it was sort of well, may as well do what Eric wants and take out a bunch of people with me on my way out, but ultimately, although I think they were really motivated by different things, one a desire to murder and the other one a desire to kill himself, they both had this resentment for the state of living, of being. Columbine staged. I don't think Columbine was staged. No. Sorry,
That's for
amazing.
another stream.
But it definitely, I'll say this, Columbine was
It's interesting to
definitely
think about.
used.
I think all the conspiracy theories are interesting. Yeah.
But they used it. They used it, and one of the things that Columbine did is the media immediately pushed all these false narratives, and most of those false narratives we still think are true to this day because they pushed it so hardcore. People think they were in a group called the Trenchcoat Mafia. They weren't. There was a group called the Trenchcoat Mafia there at the school. They were like a bunch of gamers and geeks and stuff. These guys were not in it. They think that they were bullied, and these were kids who were poor bullied kids were getting retribution. They said they were taking aim at jocks and stuff. That none of that was true. They weren't bullied. They were well liked. They had friends. They weren't targeting jocks. But what happened with the media repeating that stuff, people believing it, is then you got all these copycat killers, all these other kids who are like, oh, Columbine are my heroes. I'm bullied, so I'm going to do that, and they created this myth, and now they have other school shooters who kind of trying to emulate that, but it wasn't even a true story. That's not even what happened. It's a freaking sociopath and his
Yeah.
depressed friend. It's not two bullied kids.
Right. I guess it comes from like you're snapping because you just feel like you have no power in your life. You have no autonomy. You don't have the ability to like affect change maybe or improve your own life. I hardly think it has anything to do with gender. I think
Yeah, the ones
like
who've come
mental
after
illness is
that.
just going to manifest in a number of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just so sad that like parents just don't want porn in their kids' school library. If some people will equate that to, oh, they want to do a trans genocide. It's like, no, we just don't want drag queen story hour, okay, in front of our kids. We just don't want like pornographic books in the middle school. That's not a genocide. Calm the fuck down. Like, stop being so dramatic.
Yeah. We used to know. I
Like,
mean, it used to be
it's
pretty
like
obvious.
California is still a trans utopia. They're going to turn Minnesota into one too. It's like you can still get an abortion. You'll always be able to find a place to transition.
They get
Probably
people
as young as
wound
you
up,
want,
though.
unfortunately.
Like, they get people wound up. Like, even this shooter, this girl who did this in Tennessee. We don't know yet because they haven't released her manifesto. I hope they do. I want to read it. But I suspect, based on the comments, the nasty, nasty comments I've seen from some people on the left online since then, is they get people wound up and hysterical where they really believe this stuff. They believe there's a genocide against trans people, or they believe that this country's like trying to kill gay people. I've seen crazy stuff like that. And if you believe that, especially if you're a kid, a young person, that could definitely contribute to you doing something insane like this. And so the media is, I think, partially to blame for filling people's head with this ridiculous fear and this fear mongering and this attempt at division. And they'll never take responsibility for it. They're already saying, oh, this lies at the feet of J.K. Rowling and Candace Owens and people like that, because they spew anti-trans hatred, and that's why this has happened. That's bullshit.
Yeah, there's just so many. I feel like there's just so many factors, or so many groups of people with money behind them just waiting. Like, I just picture a bunch of like foxes like licking their lips, like ready to take advantage of younger kids that are vulnerable. Basically, it's like you got big pharma wants a pharma patient for life. They want to sell a year's worth of hormones. They want to make that money from that top surgery. They want to like even as experimental as it is, and as much as it fails, they're like, yeah, let's do this. They don't care about
They don't care. They're making lots of
helping
money.
people. People just want to make money, and
Yeah.
politicians just want to make money, and division is the way to do that. So I don't know. I've been liking a lot of James Lindsay's posts and tweets over the last couple of days, because he was like, I remember he told me months ago, he's like, they're gonna have like a George Floyd situation, but for trans people. He's like, mark
Oh, yeah.
my words, they're gonna do it. There's gonna be a trans Floyd. And just so they
Yeah.
can rile up the same amount of division and money around this cause, because maybe they feel like racism isn't really working for them anymore.
Oh, they absolutely want something like that. They'll divide us along any lines that they can to keep us from noticing who's pulling the strings of everything. It's like, oh wait, so the wealthiest, like the most elite, all the like the government, the politicians, the celebrities, all these people who live very differently than the majority of the people on planet Earth want us fighting with each other constantly. It's like and one of the ways they do that now is they've got, for a while it confused me that all the banks and the corporations and stuff were like lining up with woke ideology, but I kind of get it now, because woke ideology is so divisive. What better way to kill Occupy Wall Street, right, than to get people fighting over identity politics? Nobody's going to be out in the streets talking about the wealthy 1% or anything if we're all fighting over like, I'm the most oppressed because I'm these identities. And what about my oppression? Like, and which is kind of what happened.
Yeah. Similarly with feminism, I think just got away from what about Black feminism? What about, it's so much different. Like, brown feminism is more important than white feminism. How dare
yeah.
you? It's just a mess. It's a mess, Keri. What are we gonna do? Nothing. Stay positive, I guess. Try not to fall
Stay
for it.
positive. So I sent you a funny picture. I don't know if it'll work now. We can switch gears off of something
On the
so
private chat?
negative. Yeah. This is from the 90s.
Um,
This is when we were like, it's a totally
oh
embarrassing
my
picture.
God. Is this you?
Yes. Look how embarrassed. It's embarrassing, but it's also funny. I feel like everybody should share these if
Holy
they got them.
shit.
I think I was
Okay,
in.
Tanton Davis has a hilarious thread on Facebook where you Google your first name and glamour shot and post the first picture that comes up. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna DuckDuckGo. Missy glamour shot.
But this was my
Yours
actual
actually
glamour
looks like you,
shot.
weirdly enough.
Well, this one actually is me. I didn't do the game. I just went ahead and shared my real glamour shot. I think I was 13 here.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Wow. You haven't changed a bit.
Look at all that heavy
This
makeup.
is awesome.
It's like I look like a divorcee.
Wow. This kind of makeup is what makes you dread makeup as a kid, because you're like, ugh, it's just, you're throwing it on. It's like you're coloring. You don't really know how to do makeup yet. You're like, I guess eyeshadow. I don't know. You don't know how to put it on. Like, did you do your own makeup here, or did an adult do
No,
it?
so you would go in and they would dress you. They would like that black leather jacket was one of their many costumes. If you're a man and you didn't do these in the 90s, you won't know. But they would put you in
Okay.
different costumes, and they would have an adult do your hair like that. My hair never looked like that, and I never wore makeup. And they put all this makeup on me, and then you get these pictures made, and then because this was the days before iPhones and Snapchat and all this stuff, and then girls would like carry around like
Filters.
wallet-sized
Yeah.
pictures of these, and if there was like a guy you liked, you'd be like, "Would you like one of my glamour shots?" Like,
Oh my God. Yeah, and this was like, "Oh, why don't we give the feeling of having headshots to kids?"
Do
No,
you guys
I think you can trace back Epstein Island to the beginning of glamour shots.
Yes, probably. This is before toddlers and tiaras, but hey, we were moving there.
Mhm.
Did you
Oh,
have one
wow.
of these?
Preteens and perms. That would be your show.
Preteens and perms.
No, My parents did not want to spend money on things like that. I always thought glamour shots was super cool, but no, this is what comes up when you Google Chrissie glamour shot. It's literally fucking Chrissy Teigen, the bane of my existence.
Oh, no.
Even though she spells her name with a Y. But that's what comes up. Just other Chrissies. It's fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm a little mad. Yeah, I miss the 80s. The 80s was fun.
Oh, it's
Oh my
fun.
goodness.
Oh my gosh, the big hair.
Yeah.
You're
I
right
think big
about
hair.
I was just saying you're right
What?
about not knowing how to do your hair as a girl until you're much older, because it was like, and especially with curly hair, I didn't have crazy big hair like that, but I did do kind of a Marge
So
Simpson.
many adults don't know how to. So many adults don't know how to do their hair. Oh yeah, that was almost a Patty and Selma situation going on.
That's what I
there.
had. Yeah,
But like
triangle.
so many adult women, like I feel bad for women because they don't understand their own hair texture. They don't understand like what haircuts look best with their texture and how to like, okay, is it better when you blow it out? Okay, what if you don't have time to blow it out? Then what do you do? It's all about the cut. And I realize like there is a girl I see in the city who, I mean, she's really expensive, but she does an amazing job. And I go, all right, like that is worth it because I go like every few months. You sort of like, you look the other way, you swipe your credit card, but then you know, you look better than when you just go to like whoever, like a Lemon Tree or I have a local lady in White Plains that she can do color, but like her cuts are not like there's specific layering cuts that you can do for curly hair, like that keep it from poofing out, but nobody teaches you this stuff. Like even if you have sisters, like what I did get from my sister was like I started moisturizing at 19 years old. That's probably what I got from her. And like we both were lifeguards, so we'd always like heavy on the sunblock all the time. But that was about it. Oh, let's see. Show Keri the dog article. What dog article? Oh, is that something you'd send me over Twitter? I forget. People send me things and then I immediately forget and move on. Okay, this is a good story. This is a dog story. It's a dog story. Okay, you know how dogs have jobs? Like they're bred for certain tasks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this dog is a herder dog and it herded a bunch of sheep into the house, basically. Like without the owners knowing. They turned around, there's a bunch of sheep in the house. But he's just being a good boy.
Oh,
He's just doing his job. He's just doing what he was meant to do. Oh my God. Like they're just
it's just chilling. Where's he at? I don't see him. He's already got him in there, corralled.
Yeah, he's like onto his next job. This is a hilarious moment. A keen sheepdog in training herded a flock of sheep into a family's kitchen. 7-month-old Rocky, oh, he's a good boy, was so enthusiastic to get started in his role. He sheep herded 9 sheep through an open gate and into his owner's home. They're like, now what? The flock that caused chaos as they left mess everywhere during the home invasion and stunned the puppy's owner, Rosalind Edwards. The 40-year-old said she had been working in the kitchen on October 25th when she heard some weird noise. The mom of 3 turned around to be greeted by the woolly animals, which had been brought into the kitchen by Rocky. There he is. He's a good boy. Aww.
He's just doing his job.
Rosalind from from Devon. I thought it was funny at the time, but then there was quite a lot of wee, poo, and mud everywhere. It took me a little while to clean it up. Oh, he's just working. And I guess that's what him as a puppy.
Oh, look at him.
Maybe he's being choked a little too much in that picture. I don't know. He's so cute, though. My son and husband had gone out into the field. The gate was left open. Rocky got them out and led them into the house. I was in the kitchen. I heard a noise. I turned around, and the sheep were just standing there. There were 9 of them. I took the children to another room, tried to guide the sheep out. They went right around from the kitchen and left again through the porch. I love this. I want sheep in the house. Eventually, they made an exit through the porch at the front of the house, but not before trampling poop through the house.
Oh no.
Rocky looked very pleased with himself, but he's going to need more training. Well, he's like, I did it. He brought a whole new meaning to the bringing the sheep home. This is the first time he's done something like this. He's been out with the sheep before, but this time the gate was open. The kids thought it was funny. And then I read somewhere that these weren't even their sheep, that these were random sheep. I don't know. I'll have to fact check that.
It looks like he just went and found them. Therese in your chat says all the knitters say yay because they love the yarn.
Yay! Oh,
bringing in the wool.
One of my happiest days growing up as a kid, like my mom was cooking and she kind of left the front door open, like there was like a big thick like wooden door, and then there was like the screen door, like the screen door was propped up and the regular door was open. And I remember like we just turned around and there was a cat, like just a stray random cat, like just standing like in the hallway, just like it had wandered in it. Like was just probably wanted to see what we were cooking or like what was up. Maybe she was making like ground beef or something. My mom was I didn't realize what a bad cook she was until I was an adult. I'm like, noodles and butter is not a meal. Like, but that's what we were raised on. And then just ground beef, like any kind of hamburger helper type thing. Yeah. Everything was boiled. All the vegetables were boiled, steamed, never roasted with any kind of like flavor. Like I didn't know roasting was a thing. But she did what she could. You know, like we don't come from a line of people who cook. Like the Norwegians don't really, it's bad. It's a lot of dried fish and a lot of bland flavors. The Germans too, like schnitzel, spatzel, I don't know. That it's just potatoes and like flat chicken. It's nothing good.
The desserts though. I got to go to Germany for the first time last year. Oh man. The desserts, maybe because we were close to France, but they were just delicious. They tasted the cheesecake tasted different. I think because they don't put all the preservatives and stuff in them. It's just like rich butter and cream and sugar and not processed, and it was really yummy. I will say that about the Germans: good desserts and good coffee.
Oh man.
What are some Norwegian foods?
Yeah. I want to branch out a little bit. Maybe I'll get one of those. There's like, you can make krumkage. It's like a krumkage waffle iron thing you can make, and then they're just flat, and then you curl them up into a cone, and then you just fill it with whipped cream. I'm going to get into making that.
Nice.
But it's really hard to compete with like a lot of these Italians that Frank is bringing into the like his side. It's all Italian, and they are just better at all things food. So it's going to be really tough.
I saw that video Frank shared of that white lady taking dried spaghetti and
remaking
putting
the
it
pasta.
Oh, gross. It was terrible. And I'm not even Italian.
So bad. I was like, what's the point? Okay, hold on. K-Max. Lutefisk is a Norwegian food. Google it. Lutefisk. That sounds sexual. Lutefisk. This is probably going to be disgusting. Ew, it's whitefish. Ugh. Oh, I think we had this growing up.
Oh, it looks.
Ew, it's just basically like a whitefish. It's like a flounder. We definitely had this. It's like a boring, uninspiring. This is like a flounder or like a.
I like whitefish.
I went to Iceland once and I was eating a lot of dried fish. That was pretty cool because I tried whale in Iceland. And
whale.
I think there weren't any puffins available because we went on the wrong season. But yeah, maybe I'll make some Norwegian delicacies that will make everyone want to throw up. Preserved in lye. Ew. Ew. Okay. Keri, this was a quick one, but I have to run.
That's fine. Thanks for having me. I had fun
talking
to you. Good luck with your house hunting.
Year stream.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hopefully I can pop on later. But yeah, you're the absolute best. One of my absolute favorites, but you know that. Carrie Smith, where can people follow you?
You can find me here on YouTube at Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith, or on Twitter at Real Carrie Smith. And good luck with your house hunting.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. What else is coming up? Hold on. Let me do a quick little tomorrow. Carrie's gone. Tomorrow. I have Aiden Paladin. Remember when Aiden Paladin did F&T on Friday? She was great. I'm going to have her on the channel tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. So come by for that. And of course, Mayr in the morning, tomorrow morning. All right. I'll see you guys later.